Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover Cost Accounting Standard number 15, effective from 1st April 2013. It is on Cost Accounting Standard on selling and distribution overhead. So this is, you can say, this is also one of the important overhead for any manufacturing unit. Whatever, like when you manufacture a product, then we have to spend some expenses for selling that product. So that is, and what are those expenses? Like, it may be called like marketing expenses, advertising expenses, moving your finished products from manufacturing unit to a ultimate consumer unit, from one godown to another godown, for handling from one place to another, handling of goods also, like packing and all the things we have to take care also. So those are, that will also called it one of the kind of transportation cost also, and these all are included in selling and distribution overheads. So guys, this is the very simple accounting standard, Cost Accounting Standard 15. I hope you go through the name only, selling and distribution overhead, most of you understands what it is, what kind of expenses it is. So moving further, objective and scopes are same. So these are the important definitions. Abnormal cost, that is abnormal situation like flood and all the things. These are the irregularly, unexpected. Absorption of overheads, like assigning of overhead to cost object by means of appropriate absorption rate, that is overhead of the cost object, that is quantum of base. And imputed cost is notional cost, indirect expenses which cannot be directly attributed to a particular cost object. So these are the some normal definitions. Like distribution overhead, as I just said, distribution from one distribution cost is something like where you are handling a product or services from where the product is ready to dispatch until it reaches to the consumer, that is receiving the products. So that is also a distribution overhead also. Marketing overhead, as a simple, is also known as selling and distribution. We are doing the marketing of the product. Why? To sell our product. Selling overheads are the expenses related to sale of product or services and include all indirect expenses. Whatever kind of expenses are incurring while selling the product, all will be included. That is our selling overheads. So principles of measurement is selling and distribution overhead shall be aggregated of the cost of resources consumed in the selling and distribution activity of the entity. It says to sell the product plus transferring product from one place to another, one godown to another, from one unit to ultimate consumer. Whatever the expenses, marketing, advertisement, distribution cost will become part of selling and distribution overhead. The cost of resources procured from outside shall be determined at invoice or agreed price, including duties and taxes and other expenditure directly attributed to net of discount, tax and duties refundable or to be credited by the tax authorities. So it says that suppose if you are taking resources from outside, like you are hiring transport agency, from transferring the goods from one place to another, from one manufacturing unit to ultimate consumer unit. So we are availing that services from outside. Then the transporter will give us an invoice or at an agreed price. So that should be value, or that transport will go, that should be valued at the invoice and agreed price plus duties and taxes if it is, and net of if any discount is there, or if there is ITC is available on any tax which is refundable, that it should be net of that. So in adding one more thing I just want to add in this, these all we are talking about the selling and distribution overhead when before we are selling the goods. You are getting my point? We are talking about only the expenses which are incurring for selling the goods once till the selling of the product. Fine. What about the post expenses that most of the companies are incurring? For example, like refrigerator, washing machines, these are the kind of where the post expenses also. What kind of post expenses? Like many of the companies are giving guarantees, warranties, services up to next 2 years, 3 years. Some one company, maybe like Godrej company, is giving 2 year services. Refrigerator, for upgrading its for increasing its sales, it says I'll give 3 year services. So this is also that, like 2 3 years, 3 years, 5 years. Most of the companies are providing services after the selling of the good, that is post expenses also called. So this is also one of the expenses which used to be occur, and it should be like question is now arise how to calculate this post services that the company is providing, that is also the expense. It should be at reasonable basis, uh, shall be estimated on a reasonable expenses. Whatever the what will be the cost will identify, it should be on reasonable basis. So this is also one important point from selling and distribution overhead, when pre plus post, whatever the overheads will be incurring, it should be included in selling and distribution overheads only. Got it? Fine. Moving further, selling and distribution overhead, the benefit of which we are expected to be derived over a long period, shall be amortized on a rational basis. It says, like whatever the expenses incurred in today's date in the nature of selling and distribution overhead, against which the benefits we are expecting or will going to be received into for a long period, and like whatever the next multiple years coming, in that we are receiving the benefits of that selling and distribution expenses. Let's say 5 years, then the cost will be divided in next 5 years on a reasonable and rational basis, with respect to the benefits we have received. Next point, it should not include imputed cost. Cost of after sales provided in terms of sale agreement for a class of transaction shall be determined on a rational and scientific basis. Any subsidy grant which we are receiving with respect to any selling shall be reduced. Any abnormal cost related to selling and distribution activity shall be excluded. Any demurrage or detention or penalty levied by the transportation while transporting the goods shall not become part of selling and distribution overhead. Penalties and damages also should not part of selling and distribution overhead. Credit recoveries should be deducted. Any change in the cost accounting principles is there, if law is applied with the requirement of cost accounting standards, or is accounting preparation of the should be presented and the cost statement of an entity. Assignments are same as discussed in earlier cost accounting standard. Presentation is same, where it should be represent as a separate cost head in the cost statement, and reporting entity like marketing over in place. You reporting entity, whatever the any company is reporting the heads selling expenses, they can use also the term marketing overheads in place of selling and distribution overhead. Element wise details of the selling and distribution shall be presented if material. If it is identifiable and it should be on reasonable basis, then under the selling and distribution overhead you can also mention with the subheads also, like marketing overheads, transportation overheads, distribution overheads. You have to mention like that in the terms of presentation. So this is the disclosure as usual, it's same with earlier cost accounting standard. So guys, this is the cost accounting number standard number 15, which is very simple, and through the name only selling and distribution overhead you get all the clues and minds, whatever the what kind of expenses we have included in selling and distribution overheads. So guys, this is the cost accounting standard 15. We're going to meet you soon with another video. Till then, good luck. Bye.